What is going on, guys? Welcome on back to the RLCS Midwest Minute, the great return. As you know, we're out here in Worlds. We got wonderful little Airbnb here, but we gotta get to the matches that happen today. Don't mind the editing, and I don't have anything to edit with, so it'll be bare bones. So first match going off today, G2 versus Limitless. As expected, it was a trio sweep, and Limitless did score a couple 2-3 goals there, so good job for them. Unfortunately, they did still lose, so they dropped down. Next match, we had Falcons taking on Gaming Gladiators. Falcons are coming out with a vengeance after losing in the grand finals of the Esports World Cup. So they want to look to prove themselves to not be a second place team heading into lands. Their first matchup was against Gaming Gladiators. They swept them with a perfect sweep, I might add. Gaming Gladiators didn't score a single goal, so Falcons coming out with a vengeance. Moving right along, though, we got Gentlemates taking on Quick Trip Pioneers, and to nobody's surprise, the Gentlemates swept them. But it was a little bit closer than you might think. A couple one-goal games, only that second one ending 3-1, so 2 goals there, but still not that big of a difference. So a little bit closer than you might think, but Gentlemates move on with a trio sweep. Now moving right along to Vitality versus Team Secret. Vitality beat Team Secret 3-1. Now, as expected, Vitality did win, but they did end up dropping one game to Sam number 2, which is Team Secret. It was an overtime game, excuse me. But Team Secret showing up a little bit there. They got to continue some momentum in order to keep going and trucking along through. But let's just keep these games moving here real quick once. Now heading over, there was Genji taking on Power. Am I reading this right? Holy smokes! Power beat Genji 3-1. Now Genji did come out and win that first game, but then Power, they came out and they gentlemen swept them, and Power looks to be kind of the real deal, taking down the NA number 2 seed over there. So look to be a team to compete with. Watch out for them. Now moving right along here, we got Furia taking on OG. All of those were 1-goal games, so it was pretty close, but Furia did end up sweeping OG, so they had a great showing there, keeping that Sam number 1 seed up on top. Furia is a great team. They are honestly one of the dark horses to make a deep playoff run, so make sure to keep an eye out for them. Now, let's keep these games moving here, why don't we? So, BDS taking on Oxygen. Oxygen didn't win that first game, and Oxygen only made it because anything kind of broke up, and they brought in EU number 5 because they had the most points in the RLCS lands for the rest of the year, so EU got one more bid because Mina number 2 dropped out. So they were able to make it, but they lost to BDS 3-1. Now they did win that first game just like Genji, but then they got gentlemen swept by BDS. They finally started playing like a team a little bit more, and frankly, they crushed them. But Oski did have one of the best goals at this World Championships already, and it's only day number 1 with one match happening. So that's kind of crazy to watch. It was a squishy save ground pinch into the other net for a goal, and that was a great shot. Now, let's keep these games moving on real quick once. KC, they did sweep SSG. Unfortunately, as you know, I'm a huge SSG fanboy. I don't know why, I can't help it. Every single game ended in a 2-1 scoreline. Now, it's a little bit weird how every single game went like that. SSG, they just had no ice today. They were doing good, and then anytime they built up some pressure, it just kind of fell apart. But they fall 0-3 against KC. Now coming up tomorrow, we have G2 taking on Power. This is the upper round 2 matches. Now Falcons taking on BDS. That'll be a really good matchup. You won't want to miss that one. Furia taking on Carmine Core, seeing if either Furia or KC are the real deal for that one. And we have an EU matchup with Gentlemates taking on Vitality, seeing which French roster is actually the best out of the French. Now, you could say this about any EU team, and they're all basically just French rosters, because that's what EU does. They just send more and more French people to play into RLCS, and they crush everyone. But And then let's keep these moving real quick. We'll go on to lower round 2 matches. These will be taking place first before the higher round 2 matches. We got Genji taking on Limitless. Now I do expect Genji to win that one. Maybe Limitless gets a couple goals here and there, but I think Genji does sweep that one. We'll do some predictions here too, why don't we? Yeah, let's just do that. Oxygen, they take on Gaming Gladiators. Obviously, Oxygen is going to trio sweep Gaming Gladiators. They may even perfect sweep them too, who knows. But no faith in Gaming Gladiators. Sorry. Next, we have Team Secret taking on Quick Trip Pioneers. Now, I do think this game could be pretty interesting. Now, both of these teams are the number 2 seed from their region, number 2 Sam and number 2 Oceania, but we'll have to see which number 2 of which region is better, whether it be Sam or basically Australia, but I'll say Oceania because that's what it is. But I do think Team Secret wins this one. I'm gonna say 3-1, but the games are gonna be pretty close there, except for maybe one of them. And then for the 4th match of the day, we have SSG taking on OG, and obviously SSG fanboy. I think SSG is going to win this. I hope SSG is going to win this, and we'll just have to see. I'm going to say SSG 3-2. I'll say 3-2. They beat them in game number 5 over there. So let's move right along real quick once to some high round 2 predictions. You already know the matches. I'm just going to say my predictions. So after SSG OG, G2 Power, I think G2 is going to win this one 3-1. I do believe in Power a little bit. I do think that they have the ice to at least take one of the games over there, but I do think the series is going to go to G2. Now Falcons BDS, that'll be a top tier matchup. I think that Falcons are going to win with this one 3-2. I do think it is going to go to game 5. They're going to be close games. I do think Falcons just have a little bit more of that offensive prowess, and I don't think BDS will be able to keep up enough to win the series. So, moving right along is Furia versus Carmine Corps next. I think that Furia is going to win this one 3-1. I don't think Carmine Corps was tested too much by SSG. SSG didn't play like they were in top form. There's probably still a little jet lag. Who knows? But I have Furia winning 3-1 against Carmine Corps. Furia is going to be a very good test for Carmine Corps if they're back on top in EU or if they're still frauds. So we'll have to see. And then the final match of the day is going to be Gentlemates taking on Vitality. And I think that I'm going to go with Vitality on this one. They did drop a game to Team Secret, but Gentlemates didn't quite get tested too much by the Quick Trip Pioneers. So I think Zen is starting to get back into form. I think that Vitality team is starting to find that chemistry once again that they had to win Worlds last year. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I think Vitality is going to win this one 3-1. Again, I think these are going to be very close games. But I do think that Vitality edges out and they're going to get that 3-1 victory, just barely eking out Gentlemates. So yeah, that is all for Day 1 of the RLCS World Championships. Thank you all for stopping on by. I will see you all tomorrow. Take care. Have fun watching Worlds. I'll be posting this live a couple hours before the start time. That way you're able to recap and then watch Day 2 happening in just a couple hours. And as always, watch out for a deer. Tell your folks I says hi.